Today on GardenFork, I'm going to show you some upgrades you can do for your file cabinet evaporator. Ready? Here we go. Make, fix, grow, cook. GardenFork. Henry. And tools. I wanted to, before the sap season starts, I wanted to give an update about the cheapest maple syrup evaporator I've ever seen that we made homemade. The videos to make this are linked right below and hopefully at the end of the show here. But I've been thinking about the past couple of seasons of boiling. Henry, bring it here.
You're a good retriever, man.
Come here, come. So after the past couple of seasons of boiling, I had a couple thoughts. I want to walk you all through it, okay?
Walking through the maple season.
First, we have to throw the ball.
Well, first, second, and third, you have to throw the ball.
Come here. Here we go.
So this has been in storage since last February?
Well, it's been outside. It's held up fairly well. Throw it far. So when I first built this thing, I put the trays toward the opening of the fire door, and I left this flat panel here for preheating sap. I put a can, or what did I put here? A pot right here. And what I realized is I'm much better off with this extra space being right at the fire door and moving the two pans back here, because the hottest part of the fire is back here. The coldest part is right by the fire door. So our first pan here would kind of boil okay, but not great. And right here, it was super hot. So when you build this thing, put your pans near the chimney and put your extra piece over at the end. Also, if you could get a little 6-inch buffet tray, the steam table tray pan, that'll evidently fit right here. I didn't put one in, but a couple of people told me that. All right, quick. So when I built this, I really didn't think about it, but I think that the exhaust exit for the smoke should be here rather than down here. It's a subtle thing, but I think it'll make a difference. It'll help the heat wrap around the back pan a little better.
So it draws better.
I think so. I mean, you know, it's garden food, but it's super fun to make your own maple syrup. When I first built this, I put the grate, the expanded steel, on some terracotta because I thought, well, those are fireproof, you know, it's kind of like fire brick. But I found the ideal height, and you could put some brackets in there and screw them in. And this is about 12 inches below the pan. It could be maybe 10 inches below the pan, and I think you would be fine with that. For the front here, I did not build in a vent. You know, a lot of wood stoves or barrel stoves have a vent. Oh, she found the ball. And I didn't really find that necessary because I just kept this open a little bit and it would burn just fine. So in this version of the file cabinet evaporator, I had our turbo fan, which is actually a bathroom fan, and some slinky hose. I had it put into the side, and I'm thinking, I'm not an aerodynamics, flow dynamics expert, but I think it'll be better if it goes right in the front here, and then we'll just connect the fan to that. And then to control the speed, maybe I'll put a dimmer switch knob on the power cord instead of putting the tape over the vent like that. But if you want to wamp up your fire, it works really well.
It does. What's going on in your bathroom, though?
Oh, we have a new fan in the bathroom.
Oh.
So the copper pipe going along the edge of the cabinet was my attempt at preheating the sap before we put it into the trays, because whenever you would put the cold sap in the trays, it would just kill the boil. And I haven't figured out yet how to build a neat kind of preheater to do that. One friend suggested wrapping copper pipe around the chimney stack because this thing gets whomping hot, you know? So maybe you guys have some just suggestions. Maybe in the show notes below in the comments you could have some ideas. I'm not quite sure how, but we should be able to harness the heat coming off this thing because you can't stand right next to it when it's burning. It's so hot. To preheat the sap so when it hits the pan, it doesn't kill the boil. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, all right? Also, I'm gonna be making a new tubing video. I've learned a lot since last year when my neighbors made fun of my sap lines.
Aww.
And I bought a tubing tool. This is from a guy on eBay. It's fairly inexpensive compared to what they cost in the catalogs and stuff. I'll link below to it. It's really nicely made, but in the cold, when you're trying to connect connectors to tubing with your bare hands, it doesn't work. This little tool is totally worth it.
Then it does work.
Because it's gonna make this. This is the last of our sap, or syrup.
From last year.
We made about 4 gallons last year. People are always wondering. There really isn't a way to know how many trees to tap to make X number of gallons. At least I don't know. Just depends on the year and the tree, that kind of thing.
The season.
All right, if you want a preview of the next version of the file cabinet separator,
Separator. That's a good word.
come with me.
Just passing the time until maple season.
This is a legal size file cabinet that I got for almost nothing. Legal size cabinets are wider than a standard one, which is what we have down there, and a new upgrade.
Wow, look how shiny that is.
So I found a guy online who makes evaporator trays, and he has some set sizes that he makes and sells online. I'll link to his website in the show notes below here. But I emailed him and said, hey, would you make me this X size? And
He did.
he did, and the photos on his website don't do the quality of the workmanship justice. It's really well made. I'm really excited to fire this thing up. And it was for much less than what an evaporator rig goes for in the catalog, so this will be pretty cool.
He really is excited.
Yeah.
He shows all his friends. He actually shows anyone.
But this would be neat. So if you're thinking about upgrading from the steam table, tray method to something a little bit more, get a bigger file cabinet and then have this tray made. I'll link to the guy in the info below here. All right, there you go. I want to hear from you. Maple syrup ideas, suggestions, questions, all below here. Also, I lost the ball. There should be somewhere floating here something to click on to watch our other maple syrup videos. You watch those, you'll learn all about it. It's a lot of fun. You can start small, you can go big, or you can go file cabinet.
Go file cabinet.
It's really brilliantly easy. People throw file cabinets out. Where's your ball? I don't. Go find the ball and I'll.